Well, don't hit the start button if you were
Nope.
about to do that.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
Okay?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Ah. Well, this is still the official start of the show. Welcome to the Day Night Show matches. This is the last cast of the weekend. I am casting here with Zero Lambda, and we are going to be casting Crazy Chaos versus Loopyloo, which is a Heart of the Swarm game and will be our last Heart of the Swarm cast for Legacy of the Void releases. And we leave this behind forever.
Well,
But this won't be the last, Heart of the Swarm game you should watch. Frankly speaking, there's this thing called WCS going on right now. And then there's the BlizzCon Finals, which you should watch, even if you're a little tired of Heart of the Swarm. Trust me, it'll be a good show.
Yes, it will.
But anyway, as for our players here, we have Crazy Chaos, is a relatively new person to StarCraft compared to the rest of us. We know he started playing that in spring, so he's a bronze, silver level player, still kind of jumping around between races, kind of looking for what he wants to play. And here's what he had to say in answer to the question of what is his favorite game mechanic. His favorite game mechanic is actually day-night cycles because he thinks they can be so gorgeous.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So was this game mechanic in general, or was this StarCraft game mechanic?
Nope, just game mechanic. You can answer it however you like. And then if you think about this particular mechanic, it's actually been used in a wide variety of ways. Some of it's just aesthetic, like Cities Skylines.
Right.
It literally is just aesthetic there. It has no function. But of course, then you have that infamous day-night mission in Wings campaign.
Yeah.
Which, admittedly, is actually a very fun mission. Like, that, it's a very interesting setup. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And his opponent, we have Loopyloo, somebody who's been playing with us for quite a while. He's been into StarCraft for, I think, even longer than I have. And he likes to play random. He's about gold level, though I would say if he played one specific race, he'd be easily plat. And he is... His answer to the question of what his favorite game mechanic is, and he says he keeps thinking of genres rather than mechanics, but he really enjoys it when a game has meaningful decisions that actually affect the story rather than emulate effect on the story. Which is actually a very interesting discussion, and this is one of those things in my mind that's always been the best to pull off on a one-off game, right?
Right.
Like, having meaningful decisions impact the storyline of something like Jade Empire in BioWare's case was a lot easier to pull off than it was for like a trilogy for Mass Effect. And at the end of the day, you made a lot of decisions in Mass Effect. How many of them ended up being all that important?
Well, we don't talk about that, do we?
No, because there's this reality called canon and new players on new games, and it's not like a book. It doesn't work that way.
Yep, and depending on the decisions you make, story could branch into 3-4 different directions completely.
Right.
So now you have to
write 3 or 4 different sequels.
Yep. Now you have to create four different campaigns, kind of thing.
Right. Which until someone does that, maybe someone will, but it's gonna be of real low quality. Like we're not gonna see something on the level of like the StarCraft campaigns like that.
So you mean text adventure?
No, more like a. I think you could pull off something like this with something in between that. Maybe a 2D game. You could maybe do that. But I don't know. I think Monday, hopefully one day we will actually get to the point where we can pull that off. But we'll see.
Eventually.
In any case, we have a StarCraft game sitting in front of us now.
Indeed.
And it looks like we are starting game 1 off on Terraform.
Latter edition. Indeed.
This is a TBC. Okay, I think both of these guys might have rolled random, so they may not know what their races, their opponents are. But in any case, let's sync this up.
Gotcha.
So, go for the countdown, sir.
All right, going for it in 5, 4, 3, 1.
Okay, in the top left part of the map, we have our yellow Zerg player. In Clan DJ, it is Loopyloo.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. The teal Terran player, it is Crazy Chaossy. Clan Sea Rage. Rage. So do you think we have a crazy, chaotic game on our hands here?
Maybe. Honestly, it depends on what he's decided to do, especially with what he's done with practicing since the last time we played. We both know that growth in StarCraft 2 as a player really comes in some waves,
Right.
Like the first thing you do is you sit down and you're looking at the keys and you're just trying to memorize what buttons to hit, and then you go on ladder and you die to some guy who's also figured the build out.
Yeah.
And, technically you should work on your mechanics a little bit longer, and then you go onto the internet inevitably and you look up a guide of some kind and you get slightly better, and then you have to actually master a build of some kind. But usually people don't actually master the build and they move on to different ones and they sort of slowly inch their way there.
Yep, this is true. It's kind of a StarCraft is a unique beast. It takes a while to get where you would like to be, and even then, there's just infinite folds of depth.
Pretty much. I mean, even when you'll hear people sometimes say that like Heart of the Swarm is a game that's essentially been figured out, so to speak. But new stuff can always happen. New stuff can always surprise you out of nowhere. You never know when that can occur, and sometimes it could take years after like an established meta has really been put in place. So it looks like they had to pause. Okay. Well, technical difficulty apparently plaguing our players this weekend.
Yeah, a few people have to deal with that stuff. I mean, most of the replays we got, people had to pause or something.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, and we can see here, like, this is, I think, what I was trying to get at before with Chaos. And just as a quick note before I get into that too far, we have a spawning pool coming up after a hatch first for Loopyloo, which is kind of like more of a standard-ish Zerg build, very well thought out, going to give them great ability to either switch into aggression in the mid-game or go into further macro there. Yeah, it's basically standard setup. Whereas we can see that Chaossy, basically, he has embraced one of the first and easiest builds to set up, which is the all Marines all the time, no gas. Who needs that? And the scary thing about this is, unfortunately, Loopyloo does this as well. So he's gonna scout his base and be like, "Oh, I know what you're doing." Unfortunately, you can also tell as well that Chaossy is a little bit new with the mechanics of how SCVs work, because technically what he should have done is grabbed 4 SCVs and built these all simultaneously. But instead he queued them up.
This is true. This is true. But he is constructing Marines now and getting some of these out of the map. That's pretty good. His opponent has expanded to a natural and is working on saturating that. So Loopy's in pretty good shape as far as economy. Got a spawning pool up just in case he needs to drop any Zerglings or spine crawlers, anything like that. Pretty run of the mill here. And Chaossy inquiring as to how alt codes work.
No. Just fun things you could do with the numpad.
Yep. No, it's not European only. That would be really lame. No offense to Europeans.
Oh, that would be easy though. You would just switch your keyboard to like the British version, and you'd be able to do it.
But I have to switch my layout every time I want to put a ASCII heart in.
This is true. I actually use the Japanese one that lets me go back and forth between hiragana, katakana, and alphanumeric characters.
Oh, the language bar thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, except that it takes over the shortcut key for Alt tilde, and if that's ever used in anything else, you end up with a problem.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks like he looked it up, the classic 5 barracks push. Now, the problem with this setup is it's actually supposed to occur quite a bit faster than this, and by the time he gets to the other end of the map with these Marines, Loopyloo is most likely going to be ready to deal with this, unless he's just like, he just goes for a third base and doesn't build any army, which could happen, actually. Not totally the first time.
5th barracks coming down now, and he's working on queuing up some supply depots, making sure he has enough supply to do this. And all these barracks are working, no reactors, or, he's not going for any gas. He doesn't have any add-ons, but it doesn't matter. He's got 4 or 5 barracks now.
This is actually an extremely solid build to start out with you're learning Terran. Admittedly, I may try something similar in Legacy of the Void if I start messing with Terran at all, which has kind of been on my mind. I want to mess with Zerg and Terran a little bit, just kind of understand the basic builds. I don't need to get really good at them. That's what Protoss is for. But
oh yeah.
Right. I mean, like, why would you want to be really good with Terran and Zerg? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's
They're not
right.
Cool space aliens with lightsaber wrist blades.
I mean, come on. You can't pass that up. And they got shields and stuff, man. It's like Star Warsy.
Basically. I basically play Protoss because they have zealots. That's what I'm saying.
And now we can play one in Heroes. Oh, yeah.
That is the best feeling thing in the universe.
I know. It's like finally we can slash people to pieces.
Like, I'm not even sure if I really care about how good that character is. At the end of the day, I'm not. It's too much fun to use him. I'm like the Purifier Beam, just calling a laser beam down from the sky. Favorite situation for that? Enemy allied ETC does a mosh pit, and then I'm not there, and I'm like, oh, that's too bad. And then I just press the laser beam button and watch everything burn.
Laser beam. Yep. I actually don't think
So
I
good.
think I've taken the blind in all but 2 matches I played as him, and it's just
The blind is excellent too, especially if you're forced to solo tank.
yeah, it's pretty good, but it's nothing like a little extra hero damage on the side.
Oh no. Plus, it's really fun to put it on like a medic or a spellcaster and watch them run around like
Or
a chicken
Sergeant
with their head cut
Hammer.
off, because there's nothing they can do about it at all.
Yep.
Oh, Sergeant Hammer's the best, because half the time they're just like, what happens to me if I just kind of tank it? And then they die.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we got the Ball of Marines here at the front of the base. We can only see that there's actually about 7 roaches to deal with this. And Loopyloo is starting to hit the panic button because he's realizing these 3 upgrades that he made aren't really helping him right now. So he's trying to distract Chaossy and hope that he can drag him somewhere else. Chaossy's going for the attack on the front line here, and unfortunately a lot of his Marines decided that Queen's more important to shoot than the roaches. But that's okay, as they are now pushing forward. This is actually a very dangerous situation. Chaossy needs to make sure that he continues producing Marines and rallying them across the map during this. Unfortunately, he has them rally to his base, so about half of his army is not here.
Ooh. There we go, drones moving forward. He pulled the drones. So they're trying to get us around here, and these Marines are going to get cleaned up. Wow. Pretty quickly.
So, as we can see, there's the other half of his army supply back in his base.
Yeah, no rally.
Very simple mistake is that there was no rally point to get them to the front, which is too bad, because I actually think he might have had a chance of just winning right there.
Yeah, easily could have won that. I mean, just this train of Marines running across the map, and Loopy would have had to. He would have really had to pull something kind of silly to get that taken care of. But yeah, no. I mean, he's still got army supply. If Loopyloo does choose to counterattack, I mean, he's pretty well defended.
And, you know, by the way, the interesting thing about this build in particular is it really follows the evolution of StarCraft as a whole. In StarCraft 2 is basically the way the meta worked. Because these kinds of things are figured out first, right? People come up with the cheesy, aggressive builds, and they're really successful early on. That's because there's no standard macro play. There's no defenses against any of it.
Right.
So, like, it's a good way to learn a race because you can start with the thing that the pros learned and got good at first, too. And then you can... Inevitably, someone thought, well, you know, this army might be a little better if I had a few Marauders in it. So, you know, it was like, oh, maybe it would be better if I had Stim. So they work in Stim into the build and they use that. Like, oh, maybe I could do even... I can't kill him quickly anymore. It looks like I need a second base. And that's how you build into a macro strategy. You build into a macro strategy by either learning how to hold off the aggressive attacks or by realizing that your aggressive attack isn't working and it needs more juice.
It is an iterative process, and there were hundreds of thousands of people playing it, figuring it all out, collaborating. It's the beauty of a community.
It's actually one of those things that I'm seeing happen in Overwatch even as we speak. Because one of the things people wondered about is like, oh man, why wouldn't it be so cool to just go 6 Winstons? That never happens. Really, even up until this point, if you watch a random game, that doesn't happen. People try it, but it's never maintained for an entire match. And the simple reason is, it's got really obvious blunt weaknesses, and people just adapt to them, and they add a couple things to, like, unbalance it. Like, oh, you're running around with 6 Winstons, and the other team is running around with, like, 6 of something else, and then one guy in the other team decides to pull out a Bastion and kills everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then you react to that, and then your team starts fracturing away from the 6 of one character into... well, maybe having a Symmetra to give everybody shields would be kind of cool. And maybe we need this, maybe we need that. And then suddenly you don't have 6 of one character. The StarCraft equivalent of this is mono battling, which is essentially what we're seeing here.
The March of the Blues. Here they go.
It looks like a rifle.
Yeah, it kind of does. Well, not so much anymore.
Unfortunately, there's no Stim, there's no Medivacs here. And the Roaches have some upgrades, so they should win this battle. But the Marines are holding their own pretty well here. Slightly better concave, I think.
Very well. It's very painful, though. Unfortunately, these Marines do not have combat shield or any medevacs to heal them. So Loopy goes ahead and pulls back, makes sure to get him put into a choke point.
No, he realized, yeah, because thanks to the creature, he's able to see that he's going after the rocks now. But he's actually piling all of his units under there. Actually, does it crush them or does it move them out? I think it just moves them out. No.
Nope.
Loopyloo's complaining about input delay while he murders his opponent. Slightly BM, but that's not too big of a deal. Chaos is being a good sport. Shut the door! Shut the door!
Shut the door quick.
Barricade the door!
There you go. Boom.
And yeah, it actually does look like it just moves them out of the way.
There you go. Dustin Browder would be proud. He would. He would indeed.
Wouldn't it be interesting? Like, I haven't heard him talk about whether or not they want to put, like, train obstacles into the HOTS. I think they've probably... I remember them saying they want to try that a long time ago, and then just never did, which makes me think it didn't work on any of the maps that they tried. I heard we're supposed to have a new map before the end of the year.
Ooh. That should be nice. Yeah, kind of mix up the formula a little bit. I'd like to see Legacy introduce some neat map mechanics that you can actually use to make things a little more, not necessarily balanced, but if a player's losing to a build order loss pretty hard outright, there should be some kind of map mechanic you can invoke to some degree, like a heroes type objective. Maybe not that impactful, but something that can at least buff your units or heal your units or something. I think it would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I'm actually a little bit... I mean, that code for that stuff exists. Like, that's all Warcraft 3 stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So technically it's written into the game. You can get, like, hidden fountains and such. But they've never felt interested in really using them on these maps.
Cleaning up the other rocks, kind of opening the door here for more to happen. Hydra's on the way now. Could be a lot of DPS coming up. Groove Spines is going to be complete, so you're gonna have that nice range. You get the roaches up there to tank for them, and yeah, these Marines don't have combat shield, and they don't appear to be upgraded either. And,
no, unfortunately, this is the part where you kind of need your opponent to blunder in some fashion. Now that he's adding Hydralisks to the mix, this is going to get pretty tough. But he's actually able to engage this army piecemeal so far. Nope, he's starting to react and finally starting to move in. And with the Hydra DPS on the back of it, and nothing to be able to clean that up, you can see how there's no contest. Unlike the last fight, where some of the roaches really were being driven back. Also, this one guy, poor guy.
Oh man, Billy, no. Yep, that extra armor upgrade showing its worth here as he moves in and just completely walks through all of that damage. Yep, Hydra's moving in, gonna DPS down these buildings, and unfortunately, I don't think there's anything our TL Terran player can do here.
He had the Chaos. He had the right idea, but you gotta build those barracks simultaneously. You gotta get those Marines out faster. Gotta practice it.
Yep, there you go. Rally points, rally points, rally points.
And the rally points. Yeah, if you had the rally point, you probably would have won anyway. Which, or it would have been closer, much closer than that. But. Hey, that's much better than I've seen him play in the past. He actually
super
seemed
good,
like
yeah.
A game plan.
Yeah, he was using up his minerals and stuff like that too. I mean, he was investing in something.
That will beat like 90% of bronze players.
Yes, I will.
Even at this point, even though none of them are really bronze anymore. Hopefully that'll change. We'll get some fresh meat.
Yeah, there we go, fresh meat.
Expansion. Did you see that like butcher barbecue?
Oh yeah,
thing? I thought it was hilarious.
That is too perfect. I don't know what Chris would use it for, but we need to get it for him.
There's a barbecue place inside the convention center, like just food that you can buy, and I'm really hoping they're wearing those. I find that hysterical.
Yeah, I know, that would be awesome.
I'm gonna take the shit out of so many pictures.
Yeah, you should. Oh, I'm gonna be so excited.
There's like 7 or so statues in there. I'm gonna get a picture of all of them. That is like minimum, and the stages. I had to get a picture of the stages.
Yep. You're gonna need to put up like an Imager album or something and put in the announcements on the Discord server.
Yeah, I will actually see if I can get... I'll have the Discord app. I don't know if I'll be like interacting much while I'm in there because the like connection to your phone is really bad.
Yeah,
but
you're in a tin box pretty much. So
when I go back to the hotel, I'll see if I can put stuff up.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Here we go. Loading up on sound is really noisy. Give me one moment.
Okay, I'm gonna load up on... Yeah, I haven't loaded yet. There we go. Now I'm going to get to the loading screen.
The next one's going to be on Scrap Station. I mean,
Didn't Loopy main Zerg at one point? I believe yes. I do remember that man. I remember him saying that. Yeah. So, by the way, when you refine that style that Chaos was using in that last game, you can beat Gold and Platinum players with it who have a basic macro errors in their setup that they haven't corrected because no one's been punishing them. So what I mean it's effective, I do mean it's effective. It just won't work on somebody who's in like Diamond.
Right, right.
So you do eventually have to grow out of it. But, sometimes you don't see Cannon rushing and Priv.
Yeah.
I think he needs to branch out if he actually wants to participate in WCS. Like, I think he's finally hit a wall.
Yep.
Which is amazing to me that he got that far.
Yeah, no, I mean it's already impressive that he's that far on just that one single strategy.
But yeah, like, there are games that have shown up on Reddit from people using creative strategies to beat him in WCS Challenger tournaments.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, he's been in the first or second rounds of these, and there was like this crazy game where he like cannon rushed a dude, and the guy beat him with a Nexus Photon Overcharge.
Oh, I remember that.
Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts. And I opened the video, and I'm like, oh, it's Pref. I mean, nobody reading these comments has any idea who that is, but that's okay. I'm like, hey, I know the guy he killed. That was my comment.
And Fade's ears perked up. Someone say cannon rushing. Hi,
We're
Fade.
all right, folks. We are into game 2 here. Loopyloo is ahead by 1, so let's go ahead and get this lined up.
All right. Starting us off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So on the right side of the map, we have our yellow Protoss player. It is none other than the aforementioned Loopyloo.
Good guy. Announcing his race as well. So that's pretty cool of him. And in the top spawn position on the map is our teal Terran player, Chaossy. He got
the Sons of Korhal.
He got the Sons of Korhal.
Oh shit.
That was
what time are you at?
I'm at 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Okay, how about now?
58, 59, 1, 101, 102.
There we go.
Okay.
It should be about synced up. I hit for a second I wanted to mess with the color intensity, and I hit the options button, which apparently pauses the match.
Oh, yeah, okay. There we go.
But I'm at 118 now, 119, 120.
Yeah, you're good.
Am I behind her? Okay, okay.
No, you're good. You're good. We're all set here.
It is the power of fast forward to kind of relines it. Sims of Solar Empire. Yeah, not a lot of people would know about that game, but I do know that company. They made one of my favorite Sims of all time, Black Sims 2. And, it was a lot of fun. I actually think I like Less Federation a little more, even though it's like more basic looking.
I heard of Sins. Is that pretty good? Or
I don't know. Never played it. I just know about it because it was the game that came out after Galactic Civ 2. I just didn't play it.
Loopy is very confused as to where the Sons of Korhal come from. He knows it.
Loopy. Loopy.
I've heard it somewhere. He
Loopy,
says.
go play Oh, he hadn't played StarCraft 1 at this point, had he? Because he was talking about how he got it with him on vacation.
Oh no, Loopy.
Loopy. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, Sons of Korhal was the name of Arcturus Nexus organization that fought against the Confederacy in StarCraft 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting bit of lore. We're gonna have to yell at Loopy later.
I'm sure he knows by now.
Oh, he does.
Of course, technically, his like corpse is in the chat, but he's apparently not inhabiting at the moment.
So we cannot educate him properly until later.
From the dead, so he probably did not hear that comment. He'll see it on the archive video, I'm sure.
Wow, spoilers! Yeah, I know Sons of Korhal. I mean, holy crap. Hasn't been around since '97 or anything.
Yes. If I wanted to be real asshole, I know a couple things that I could spoil in the Legacy of the Void campaign as well. But
No,
No, not gonna do that.
No.
Not gonna do that.
I will drive.
About it.
I will drive, and I will slap you with my car.
With your car.
With my car, yes.
But no, that won't happen. Don't worry. I'm not getting any music. Are you?
No, I'm not. I think it has to do with the replay. It's enabled.
Wow, it completely broke. That's weird. Okay, but anyway, we have an expansion here from Loopyloo, just a single gateway expansion. But kind of pretty normal, honestly, in this matchup from what I recall. We can see that Chaossy has gone up to factory. He needs to put those STVs back to work. Double gas factory, and it looks like he's building Hellions. I'm actually not sure what the gas is for. Maybe he wanted to go up into Banshees or something, or
Widow
he doesn't
Mines,
realize how
possibly.
much gas he actually needs. Well, Widow Mines could be that too.
Mines could be good. Loopy running the zealot over here, just making sure he's not pulling any gold shenanigans. Fade.
You always got to be aware of it. But no, it doesn't look like he's going to put down an add-on. So,
No, I mean, he's got gas, yeah. No add-on for him. He's got a Hellion and a Marine out front.
Oh, okay. He's building an armory.
Oh, is he going for Thor's?
Maybe. That would make sense. Also, this poor zealot is just going to get baked. Not in, like, the marijuana sense.
Irish Chef coming at you. Today's ingredient, zealot! Templar! Hi, tempura.
Hi, tempura.
Perfect. Oh, they should totally make a game mode where you have a chef and stuff like that. Not like the custom, but more like a normal SC2 game. You have to collect ingredients to build your units.
I would actually just find it hilarious if they used that as a map for a normal StarCraft game, and there was like Irish Chef going on like in the center, being played by the AI.
Oh, that would be crazy.
While you fought around them. I would be a fan of that.
No, you know, it would be perfect. You could do an Archon mode, and you could have somebody playing Irish Chef in the middle and buffing your team that's actually playing a normal game.
That would be like amazing for Total Biscuit's thing that he does every now and again. That crazy tournament with all the nutso maps.
Yeah, like what, Fruit Kingdom, whatever that was. Was that Fruit Kingdom or Fruit Land or Fruit something? You'd pick up the fruit and you'd have to pick away at the fruit and it'd give you minerals or some sort of resource.
There was some sort of bonus thing on it in addition to it just being amazing to look at. That was such a beautiful map.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. I wish we could see some more of that. Maybe once Legacy comes out, people will start adapting those maps or creating more game modes.
But they had a couple of other interesting, just like normal legit maps. Like there was one with pathways that would close and open on timers.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was
that was a pretty cool one.
Kind of a space sort of tile set thing.
The like really nutso one was the one with these 3 neutral cannons that you just park a unit next to and you could blow up stuff at quadruple tempest range.
Oh, that's super cool. See, that's the kind of stuff I'd like to see in normal StarCraft.
Great.
It would mix stuff up a little.
I think the tournament ended up getting canceled because there just wasn't active interest, I think, on the part of the players. Something like that. It was like, whatever. I mean, that happens.
It was one of my favorite maps was actually the beach one. You remember that? It had like a highway in the lower portion of the map. Something like that. They used it in it was a Korean tournament. I don't remember which one, but.
So by the way, so far Chaossy he's gone up to Blue Flame now. So it looked like, I'm not really sure what his plan is at this point, actually. I mean, he's going to have Blue Flame Hellions, a Siege Tank, and a Marine. And now he's building Siege Tanks.
Building Siege Tanks now. He does have a decent amount of gas still stockpiled up. He does have an expansion that's really good. He's going for vehicle and ship plating. Level 1. So he's going to get some armor on top of that. So I think he's trying to go some kind of makeshift mech build here. And it should work pretty well against gateway units as long as Loopy sticks to the...
Honestly, there's a lot of Protosses that can't deal with Siege Tanks. I know, I'm one of them.
No, me too.
I get impatient and run at them and die.
It's going to be even worse in Legacy, because now they can fly around.
Yeah, I imagine we have a slightly easier time dealing with that one problem in particular, because of Blink. But, yeah, it's going to be irritating. It's going to be that point really when you hit that guy on the ladder that's just like... somehow macroing perfectly while he micros one siege tank into your face and out a lot. You're like...
Right. Yeah, or he's worked on it all his life.
And then you're going to hit, and then of course you're going to get High Templar out feedback, and he's going to be real angry in both of the forms.
Yep, this is the guy that's been working on this mechanic and waiting for it for years, and he's finally super excited that the medevac can pick up the tank, and that's all he does now on the ladder. Congratulations.
Hey, look, if he's having a good time, that's fine, man. They're like...
Yeah.
It's important that a game be fun, not only that a game be deep.
Yep, because...
And I am tempted to go back to just Mass Void Raying for a while. Because I know that will kill a lot of people. Who
no. Yep, everybody using the new units.
I mean, why not? It's a new game. I'm essentially a noob again, so why not be the captain of the noob canoe?
The captain of the noob canoe.
Hey, it's very effective. Beats a lot of noobs primarily, but
Day 9. I love Day 9 so much.
I loved that comment he made. I know it was totally in jest, although he was also just trying to be serious. Like,
There's so much truth to it. That's the sad part.
But it's really effective.
It really is.
It's not against really good players for obvious reasons. They get Storm, they have really good control, they get Archons, like in PvP, for example, or in Terrans will get Liberators and shut it down real easy. The Zerg have their ways of dealing with that problem in particular as well, which is basically just get to air and kill all your crap because it can't deal enough DPS to deal with that. Or just Hydras, a lot of Hydras. Hydras will stop it. Oh no, the siege tanks are not sieged up. Sitting in the middle, he's trying to run away, but his units are actually blocking that siege tank in. The siege tanks are sieging up way too far away.
Ooh, probably not a good idea to siege up there. Gonna blink on top of that. Loopyloo did research blink a little earlier. So, Chaossy's gonna need a few more of those units before these arrive at his front door. A couple Marines going out to stand and scout ahead, but they're gonna...
Absolutely murder.
Ouch. Yep, so we got lots of stalkers here, and the blink is going to make a big difference. It's going to move right into this natural base of Chaossy's. It's undefended currently, and going to focus down this command center.
Oh, he's getting double starport.
Ooh.
Desperation battlecruisers?
Well, he was building those. I think he was attempting a tank drop, but it
Thor.
didn't have a whole lot of time. There's a Thor here.
He's got to get a bunch of workers over to repair the thing.
There we go. Just repair this Thor.
He switched modes for some reason.
Oh no,
now there's a lot of stalkers up here. Oh no, the SCVs are not functioning correct. Oh, then we're just going back to the mine. And now it's time to pull the boys, except it's the sacrifice of the boys instead.
Pull the boys. Crazy chain blink into the main base, and yeah, just picking everything apart now. Chaossy taps out.
So now there's an interesting element of this, by the way. If you look at the minerals and the gas, I don't know if you've left the map yet, but there's actually a very small differential between the two.
Pretty small.
I think what ended up happening here is that Loopyloo just didn't... He spent kind of a more minimum amount on his production and then actually made units. Whereas it looks like Chaossy just spent most of his time on like upgrades and buildings and didn't quite get units out. Which is interesting to look at. Basically what I'm saying is that from a pure mechanical standpoint, they actually weren't too far apart that game.
Yeah, no, they were pretty close. I mean, as far as their spending and stuff was concerned too. Chaossy had the economy, he just didn't really spend a lot of his resources, unfortunately.
He's in that stage. He's in that stage where he's like messing with builds but hasn't quite settled on one.
Right.
So he hasn't gotten the practice into it yet, but he'll get there. It's neat to watch because he's past that like initial hotkey stage by a large mile.
Yeah, no, I mean he's got the macro mechanics down. Just needs to work in spending that stuff now.
Yeah. And now here's the thing, folks. There's a third game. In theory,
StarCraft client took a dump.
He hid the total number of games in the series by adding a game versus AI into it. Normally we would look at this, but unfortunately we are kind of having to deal with this weird syncing load thing. And honestly, it would be less of a pain in the ass if we don't. But unless you want to look at it.
We totally could if you were up for it. We can easily ×2 or ×4 through the whole thing.
Sure. Let's just open it up and take a look. This
is
the last thing we're doing for a little while, so I suppose it's alright.
It totally opens it up for us to desync easily, too, because I have no idea how different our processors are going to perform on this, so...
Mine kind of messes up at 8, so if we just go to 4 times...
We'll yeah, 4 should be fine. No big deal. We're going to load up this, actually, the AI is elite, and he did choose random. This should be kind of an interesting little window here into, Of
course, he could have used a mod. Like, this is what makes this kind of fun. I have no idea what we're about to see. Hopefully he won't try race melee, and then I'll be super happy. Nope. Here there be dragons. Play as a dragon race. Must be activated with the first 30 seconds of the match.
Uh-oh.
Here be dragons.
I'm going to adjust the
volume. Loopylou's playing as the dragons. What the shit? Oh, he's become the primal Zerg.
Oh, no.
And he's spitting out, like...
Okay.
I said Chaos went random.
Hold on,
here.
don't start without
lied,
me.
But don't worry, it's time to get revenge on this AI.
Oh, start back over. We're going to resync now.
Okay, sorry, let's resync.
I want to see this, kind of.
I forgot to pause. My brain kind of shut off.
You're spoiling, no!
Don't worry, there wasn't really any definition for what I said, so you get to enjoy it still.
As you can
So
see,
he definitely modded the map, so this
Yep.
should be fun.
Definitely a nice little disclaimer down at the bottom of the window. So,
Yep.
gonna start us off now in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put it up to ×4 for you. Race change.
Okay. So what we are looking at here is a special StarCraft race that someone created. The units appear to be doodads on the map. And creatures. Like the workers.
Loopy says, I have no idea, just wow. And, yeah, everything's
Creating
very...
a Zerg building. Oh, here's Razorbacks. These are totally dragons, guys. I don't even.
So is this actually how the Primal Zerg performs in the campaign? Because you notice that
No.
the main building
They
kind
don't
of...
mine.
Yeah,
They just have the main building and spit stuff out of it.
I'm not
But maybe
confused.
there's code for it in there. I've never looked. And yeah, it's like, what the shit? What is this thing? Frontier of the Deep One.
Lesser deep one.
Plotter.
Is that a ghost? Oh no.
Creating
Oh no.
flame splitters that are like miniature ultra primal ultras.
X. Oh my! They spit fire. They are
Yes, they
totally
do.
dragons.
This is fascinating, actually.
Quite interesting. He is expanding with that thing that he's building right now. It is a denizen of the deep, supposedly. Little plotters there, mining for them. Meanwhile, the elite AI is playing a normal Zerg game. And has
Yes.
expanded.
So the Razorbacks are the overlords, basically.
Oh.
I'm like clicking through the UI trying to figure out what stuff does. I have simple command card on, so I can't actually tell what the workers can do. Greater Deep One. Augmentation Pit. Oh, this is the upgrade building.
So did you notice that some of the workers are glowing? They have an ascended trait. This dragon is more powerful. If it dies in combat, it will provide its owner with a small amount of rage. Whatever rage does.
That's a resource up there next to gas.
Rage. Wow, there's a third resource.
Yes.
I wonder how that's going to come into play.
Sunken Guardian, as in pale. No, it's just that thing from the campaign. That was like the other version of the Sunken Colony.
So the Zerg AI is ready to move
Towering
out.
Deep One.
It's already got infestors, and you got roaches. So we'll see how Loopy handles this with these,
Oh, this can't be balanced. So this race should be really strong. Like, if they're at all effective, they're gonna completely demolish everything. Looking forward to it.
Phlogiston Guardian. I'm gonna assume
Hunters
that is...
have a anti-light attack. Lightning Spitters are anti-armor. Plotters are workers. Skyrazor is anti-armor, but... Yeah. Ooh. Well, that thing died.
Weird. So, what is this? The Frontier Deep one. It looks like that spawns several different things.
Yeah. That's the model of a boss, too. Creates... Okay, these are like Zerg units that are reskinned, apparently. He can create an arc worm. It's a flying transport that's definitely not the Leviathan.
This is kind of unique. I'm surprised that the Zerg AI has not moved out yet. I mean,
Why am I not dead? I mean, sorry, this is boring. It's fine. I think the AI doesn't understand what's happening. Because normally they attack by now. But, by the way, the AI can be set to different behaviors, and it probably just rolled the macro one.
totally could be,
because it
because
has
it is...
155 supply.
Yeah, it is expanding. I mean, it's got a third base now. And Loopy's just kind of chilling.
He's probably expecting it to attack by now. Let's hope his units are super OP.
Towering Deep one. It's the...
Well, those things jump cliffs. The hunters.
Why am I not dead? He's totally perplexed.
The AI just wants to know what you're up to. Just wants to know what's shaking. He doesn't have any ability to react to that, too, which is... It's probably programmed to react to the other races. It doesn't know what it's seeing. Anyway, he's built up a lot of rage.
He has built up a lot of rage. I'm at
Found a worker.
at 1,070 here so far.
However, he's still very far behind in supply. I don't know if it matters. Oh, okay. Looks like the Zerg is twitching. Nope, it's gonna hang out. Nope, it's moving. It's moving to another ramp.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, it's going straight for this bottom base. Or it's thinking about it.
Huh? Got fourth base. Fourth base for the AI.
The AI is also totally patrol commanding all of its overlords over its main for some reason.
Hmm.
It looks very pretty, I guess.
It looks cool, yeah. It looks like a Zerg Zerg colony, that's for sure.
So now there's an attack occurring at the third base up here with this massive cloaked thing that Loopy built. Wait, where'd he go? I think it died. Okay. Now the Zerg is coming back to defend, kind of. But it doesn't. It analyzes this as not a lot of units. It's actually only sent some of its units back and sent the rest to attack, which is actually pretty clever for the AI. I gotta give him credit for that. And now it's annihilating his base. Darn it! GG. I thought dragons could fly. Oh, that's cool looking, though. I was hoping you would get to, like, the crazy N-tier units or something, but...
Kind of unique, that's for sure.
That was different.
Actually, I'm still a little behind you, I think, because since I'm encoding, too. The processor isn't processing text files fast, but...
Oh, I raced past you?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm already done with the map.
Yeah, I'm at like 20 minutes and 10 seconds now. The AI is kind of like...
Just keep going. Keep an eye on it. It's pretty cool stuff, guys.
Yeah, there's that weird cloak unit.
I wonder what the name of that is.
You'll have to ask him.
Yeah. Play around with it.
I know the AI counterattacks, and not a whole lot that Loopy can do about it. Kind of moving in here and doing his thing. And Loopy GG's out, yeah. Darn it. Interesting game.
ZRQ, to explain, since you didn't, I guess, realize what was happening. That was a replay from before the big UI update. One of the things that they like to do to completely screw over casual cheaters is they change the way the game processes data to the server and re-encrypt it. As a result of this, you can't play it on the normal client anymore.
Yep.
So you have to play on this old version of it that disconnects from BNet. By the way, that doesn't stop cheating. It slows it down and eliminates it for about 2 weeks, and then they re-encode it, and they get to sell new versions of their cheating programs. But the important thing is it prevents it from spreading out of control, which is why they do it that way.
Yeah, it's really the only thing you can do is slow it down for a little while and keep the experience clean for a bit, and then repatch again.
If you think about it, if they did it with each new season, it would be really good, because it would, like, make it so that at least the initial people in GM got there legitimately.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, let's wrap this up, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, Loopyloo is only... Well, his computer's here, but he's not here. So, we don't get to invite him up into the call. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Please go watch WCS. It's going to be on probably for the next 9 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be
matches to cast.
Going to be around for quite a while. This is the round of 16, and they only just now started. I think it's still. Holy crap! It's Dial.
While you're here, because you're going to be wondering where we all disappeared to. Well, we disappeared to a place.
We disappeared to a place. It's a magical place.
That is not Skype.
Rainbows and unicorns.
Very much better.
And yes, you did literally just catch the end of this.
It's this. You should click on it. So that is what we now use as our Hangout group. It allows for persistent calls without somebody needing to host it, so people can just jump in and talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and you literally caught the end of this. Basically, we're wrapping up right now. We casted 4 matches this weekend. Gerthang versus Probe 1 and 2. And then Fade versus Pridef, and Crazy Chaos versus Loopyloo. These are now all completed, and these are going to be the last matches that we will cast before Legacy of the Void comes out. And then we are going to be casting 2 weeks after that, I think is the plan. So basically in 3 weeks we'll have another set of games. But yeah.
Yep, no more Hearts of the Swarm games after this, so we're pretty much done with HOTS now. Once Legacy's out, that is that.
Oh, and that link I gave you will open a web browser. Link to the actual thing. You can also download an app if you so desire. But as long as you clicked on that and create an account, it will save your access to it.
Yes.
Thumbs up. In any case, yeah, it's time for us to do our credits, so to speak. So special thanks to everybody that helps out, especially Zero Lambda and Mr. Covert Muffin and Mr. Navik.
I love you too.
Miss Navik. Yeah. And you guys have been always basically helping every single weekend. It's absolutely fantastic. And of course, special shout out to Garrett Weinzerl and all his podcaster buddies. Dills, Jocelyn, Kyle, Ferguson over on the Into the Nexus podcast, and the Angry Chicken. Reverse those orders for the people included. And of course, nowinart.com, which is his art commission website, and basically he's the guy that did our overlays.
Yep, he did some more logos here.
Need art? Contact that man. He's good.
Good guy. He also got married. Give him a shout out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Saw some pictures. Looks really fun.
Yes. Looks like he had a good time.
Yeah.
But in any case, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your weekend and a great week coming up. Remember, BlizzCon is next week. I will be there. I will be posting pictures in the evenings.
Oh, yes.
And I will link to it on Discord. So I will see you guys then.
All right, take it easy.